Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma. My name is Ainolumide of Pinmetrix Limited. So, I am a digital strategist, digital transformation strategist for Pinmetrix, with over 10 years experience in deploying ERP solution. So, I'm here to present to you Zoho books and inventory. This application is a simple to use yet a very robust system. So it caters for functionalities relating to ERP. It is not just an accounting software, it's a full ERP based system. So I'll be presenting and trying to generalize the operations on with the system. Now, aside the fact that every application should be able to handle the aspect of your AR, AP, inventory, general ledger, and reporting, I will lay emphasis on the things that Zoho Books and Inventory has. Let me use the word Zoho so that because it is not limited to just two application. It has so many applications attached to it, but let me just try as much as possible to present to you what Zoho is all about, and I'm going to be presenting the Zoho books and inventory. So we have on our list, on our system tree, you can see for items, bank, sales, purchases, time tracking, accountant, report, documents, and web tab. So there are so many functions around it, but I'll just try as much as possible to focus on what you can achieve with Zoho Books. Now, Zoho Books is a cloud-based system. And what do I mean by it is a cloud-based system? I don't need to have a server. It means the developers or the seller, the owners of the software have actually made the application available on a server, on a dedicated server. All you just need to do is to subscribe and they will give you access to your own database. So it is a cloud-based system that you don't need you don't need a server, but definitely you will need an internet to connect to it, even though it consumes very little size of data. So regardless of your location, you can access the application. As long as you have access to your database, you can be able to access the application anywhere. So, and the application, it's good for most industries. So we okay, let me first tell you the limitations that it has. As at now, the payroll system is not defined for Nigeria. It does not follow the Nigeria legislation, so we don't implement the payroll system for Zoho. We don't implement the payroll system, but we have Sage Payroll that can handle that aspect of the payroll system. Now, also, it doesn't have a fixed asset module. Doesn't have a fixed asset module. Let me use the word proper fixed asset module as at now. It also does not have production. Then the costing method that it uses is just FIFO, first in, first out. Those are just the costing method that is using. Aside that, Zoho is a wonderful application that allows for email and alert system. It also allows for EDI systems or documentations. I will explain each of these things to you. Then it also gives access to your customers. That is, you as the owner, you can give access to your customers so that they can check transactions that are related to them. Then also it has a wonderful mobile functionality. Then the dashboard is superb. It also has an analytics tool. It has its own analytics tool that you can use to build so many dashboard, landing page, reports that you wish to have. The analytics, Zoho analytics is a little bit on the high side, but I won't focus on analytics now. I'll just focus on the functionality of Zoho Books and Inventory. Now, Zoho Books and Inventory would allow you to enter all your inventory items, your stock item. You can create all your stock items, whether it is a service or a stock item. You can do that with Zoho Books. Zoho Books allows you to handle the aspect of landed cost. Yeah, so it allows you to handle the aspect of landed cost, which means that any cost incurred on a purchase of a particular item, the item can actually consume it. You understand? So the system allows you for that. It also allows you to have where you can create your sales portal. You can create your sales transactions. You can create your purchases, and it also has workflow process. You can define your own workflow process from the aspect of the person that is actually capturing the transactions to an approval level, then to the posting level. You understand? So it allows for that. Another beautiful thing about these Zoho Books is that I can actually, for instance, let me use the example of a school system. So I can actually create all my students as a customer on the system. So I can actually create all my customers as all my students as a customer on the system. So creating them on the system gives you functionality to enter the details of the student. Like you can ask for their email addresses. At every point in time where an invoice is generated on the system, it's automatically sent to the customer or the student. So it automatically goes to the student email, which can be the parent's email address in that situation. And you can also decide that at every point in time when you generate an invoice for a particular student, maybe the school bills, when you generate a school bill for that particular student, all this is customizable. It's customizable. It will have the logo of the school. It will have the name of the student. Every details that involves an invoice, this system is going to capture that. Also, it also monitors your your aging analysis. So the age of invoice is actually being monitored. Let me show you something. So for instance, let me assume this is an invoice that was actually generated. Let me assume this is an invoice that was actually generated. Look at this. You can see a settlement, a payment term here. So this payment term stipulates that when is the student supposed to make payments, even though you have captured the invoice. So the system recognizes it as the due date. So if I say, when is this supposed to make payment? It's supposed to make payment in 30 days, 45 days, 60 days time. So the system records the date, and that is the date that the system will use in doing a kind of reminder. So the system will automatically do a reminder to the student. You understand? It will do a reminder to the student at every point in time. So you can set that up. so that it can do that. Then the details of all the what's it called, the school bills is also captured. Now another wonderful thing is, at this level we have something like upload a document. Maybe there is a document you wish the students should attach to the invoice, and you want this to be sent with them. So you can also do that. You can upload that here. You can upload all that from the system. So is either you upload from your system, or you have a cloud base that it is attached to. You can upload it from there. So the system has that functionality of electronic document interface. So you can send your document, you can keep your source document at every point in time. I will show you another aspect whereby you can save your document. Now, so let me just close this. So that is the function of the invoice. So the same thing too goes to if you have any adjustment regarding the student bills. For instance, he made payment. Yeah, you can see we have something like payment received. So you can actually capture the payment that is being received by the student. That is the payment that is being received from the student. You can actually capture it here. Then it doesn't mean you have to capture. It gives you. It's so flexible that it allows you. If the student is paying the whole bill, fine, the system captures that. But if the student is just paying partial part of the bills, the system allows that. You understand? So that is here on the system. Now also you have for credit note, maybe for any reason there is need for you to make adjustment regarding the school bill. The system allows for all that functionality on the system. The same thing too goes to your purchases. Maybe there is a particular bookshop the school buys books from, or maybe it is even imported, and you want to keep that into transaction. The system allows for you to do that. So you can generate a PO, which is a purchase order, and at the same time convert the purchase order to an invoice, which is what we recognize here as bill. You understand? So bill to the vendors or to the supplier. So then if payment is being made, if you made payment to the vendor, the system also allows that. Then it also allows for withholding tax. It also allows for withholding tax. Sorry, I'm trying to open it. So it allows for withholding tax, whereby you can actually capture you can withhold a certain amount based on government rules. You can withhold a certain amount of money from your customers. No, I think from your vendors now. So you can withhold a certain amount of money from your vendors based on the withholding tax, the regulations around withholding tax. So the same thing too. So that is this about our sales, our purchases. Then also as an accountant, you have opportunity to set up. Okay, there's something I missed out again. It can also capture expenses. So all your expenses are being captured on the system. So for instance, you are paying for meals. If the school is paying for meals and they want to capture it, or you are actually looking out for rent, the system allows you to do that. Then you can also do some kind of recurring expenses. If you have recurring expenses that you want the system to automatically do at a certain period, you can also set that on the system. Then going forward to I will come back to this. Going forward to accountants, what can the accountants do? You can see there's a manual journal, so we can raise a manual journal to correct transactions. Now, transactions that are direct to GLs alone, so you can correct that. But transactions that involve subsidiaries like customers, vendors, and what's it called, stock. If you are going with Pinmetrix Limited, we don't allow that. We don't allow direct GL into control account. We don't allow direct GL into control account. So it's better we raise a relating document that will be able to do any adjustment that is actually needed for that kind of subsidiary account. And then the system also has foreign, it can allow for foreign transactions, so it's multi-currency. Maybe a situation whereby a customer walks up to you, or let's say a vendor, you are buying you are buying from this vendor in dollar, and you want to capture that on the system. The system allows you to do that. So in reporting into your GL account based on the exchange rate that is being used on that transaction, the system would allow for conversion. You understand? So it changes based on that conversion rate or exchange rate. It converts into the base currency that is being used, which is the naira, in your reporting. Although you can still check your source document for the source amount that was actually being used. So then it also allows for exchange gain or loss. So if there's any exchange gain or loss in the process of maybe you raised an invoice, then from the point of receipt there is a difference, the system will actually calculate that for you automatically. You understand? So the system has so many functionality that will be taught during the training. So during the training it will be taught. Then aside that, you have the aspect of documents. Look at this document. Documents here, you can actually choose files to upload. So you can pick files and drop here on your document. So now what I'm talking about is the source files. So your source documents are actually being captured here. For instance, you might have some document that you just want to keep on the system. So what you do is you scan it. So when you scan it, you just upload it here. Just like we use Google Drive to upload some of our files and some of those things. So you can actually use this for that, and you can also create folders for different things. For instance, look at something like this. This is a folder. So depending on the operation of the organization or the school, we can actually create different folders so that the school files can actually be uploaded on the portal on this system. So the system also has where you could do your bank reconciliation and all those basic accounting processes. Now, I talked about email and alert system. Anytime transactions are being captured, it is being automated, either sending a mail it depends on the kind of transaction you are doing. So either sending a mail to the vendors, suppliers, or if there's any receiver within the organization that needs to receive it, it also sends mail there. Then it also do what we call reminder. We can schedule a reminder based on an invoice that is due. You understand? So you can schedule a reminder based on automatically. So the system will send the mail itself. So if, for instance, if a particular if a particular invoice is due as at first of what's it called, 1st of February, you can schedule a reminder till the payment is made. So which means I can say every day send a mail. You understand? Or I can say at every interval, 5 days, 3 days, I want to send a mail. So the system allows for that. You understand? Then I talked about the aspect whereby students can have access to it. Not access to this aspect, but there is a portal. There is a portal that students can actually go into and go and check. One good thing, even though you are sending a mail and you think, and your customers think that because it is a mail, they can deny the fact that they are not seeing the mail. The system sends a notification when a mail is being opened. It sends a notification that this mail has been opened. It also sends a notification if a client has gone into a portal. It sends a notification. So your portal could have your statement, the statement of the customers, invoices of that particular customers also. Then all transactions, they can also make what we call comment on it. They can make comment on it and try to communicate with you through that portal. So it gives a kind of closeness to the school. Let's say now we are now using the school as an example. It gives a closeness, a close relationship with between parents and the school, so they can actually see at a glance how things are being performed on the system. So even if it is the report of the students, can actually be sent through this document. You understand? So those are just the functions of that. Then let me go to the aspect of the reports. So you can create your chart of accounts. Like I said, you can create all your chart of accounts. You can create your items. Now let's go to so these are all the things that you can do as an accountant. So chart of account, for instance. So you can list out all your accounts, giving it code. You can do that with the system. Then also you could have reports. Now let's see the kind of report that is available. Now we have different types of reports, but let me just concentrate on what's it called? The report that is actually good for you. As an accountant, you have your profit and loss account, you have your cash flow statement, you have your balance sheet, you have your business performance ratio, you have your movement of equity. You understand? So you can see any of this report at any point in time. Look at. Then you also have a functionality whereby you can schedule a report. For instance, I want every month the system should send a report to, I can say, maybe the principal of a school. You understand? So at every month, as long as that date is due, the system automatically sends a mail based on that report. So if a particular user did not capture his transactions, then it's left to him. So but the system will send it when it is due. So it gives everybody on check, it puts everybody on check to make sure that they do their own activity. If you want to send mail every day, the system can actually do that also automatically itself. So you have range of reports, you can check range of reports. Now you can also decide to customize reports based on some things. Well, the customize you see here is more of filter. If you want to filter or compare some kind of report, date range, that is when you use that customize. But when we talk about designing a whole report, you'll be using the data analytics. You'll be using the data analytics for that. So, and I said this presentation does not cover that data analytics. So, let me just try to go out of here. Okay, so these are all the kind of reports you can actually see on the system. You can see. So the system is so easy and at the same time robust for anybody to use. Now, aside from all these functionalities I have said, the system has this. There is a place where you can look at all the apps that are available that you can integrate. Now, the system, you can integrate. I want something that will be able to show it at a glance, so that data integration. So now the system allows you to integrate to CRM, to social media, to projects, to people. So this is the payroll I was actually talking about. The system will allow you to do your payroll, but the payroll is not designed for Nigeria legislation. So we don't implement the payroll for Zoho. So there are so many applications that so if you look at it tomorrow and say that, so now the system has function to easily scale up. So for instance, maybe you started with a small process, and at the end of the day you just go, oh, there is need for me to have this kind of functionality on the system. You can actually use this Zoho to scale up all your business processes. So this is just the things relating to your Zoho and your operations. So now look at customer balances. I can actually view customer balances, AR aging summary. You can see, you can have all this. Then another thing that I can mention of, let me check inventory. Let me check inventory. See all your, see the system also have where it can record logs activity. So you can see it has so many functions. The system has so many functions that you can be able to manage. Then also, I think those are just the only thing relating to that. So I will also be sharing. Okay, let me try to see if I can share the one for payroll. Let me share the one for payroll. So we've been able to conclude that of what's it called? We've been able to conclude that of Zoho. So if you have any question, please let me know. So I said it also has this mobile functionality. Look at the dashboard. So everything that you do is also being displayed. It has a dashboard that displays some functions like total receivables, total payable. Then you can also add more. You understand? So you can add to it. So depending on what you want to do, you can add to it. Now it has, look at your cash flow here. It has a dashboard for top expenses, so that you can be able to manage your expenses. So many things that are available within. See how your bank is also performing at a glance here. You understand? So it has so many things. Your mobile, it has a mobile functionality that these same transactions can actually be done on the go. So it does not mean you have to be on the system, though most functions and most activities are being done on using a laptop or a browser. But when it comes to on the go, let me quickly generate a receipt, let me quickly generate an invoice, let me do a kind of credit note. All that can be done using a mobile, and those things being done on the mobile also has the same functionality, and everything synced together. So your data sync together regardless of which application or which device you are using. So I think that is just that. So thank you very much, and I will be showing you that of the payroll, the Sage payroll, so that you can also see how it functions like. Thank you.